Presidential speechwriter, columnist, Fortune magazine, author of the Little Book of Bulletproof Investing. Stephanie Miller, talk radio host of her own program. Dana Lash is co-founder of the St. Louis Tea Party and a talk radio host as well of The Dana Show. And Nancy Giles, social commentator and performer, and a contributor to CBS's Sunday Morning. Let's go around, reaction to this dispute and what we just heard. Ben?
Well, it's interesting. I know lots of people in the Tea Party movement. I've never heard one racist word out of any of them, and I was quite suspicious about it to start with. I thought it must be some kind of cover for racist feelings, and I've questioned people very close to me about it very intensely. I never hear a racist word out of any of them.
What do you make of that billboard?
It was an act of a very, very reckless and stupid person.
Stephanie?
Even the other teabaggers, I loved that they actually didn't, they condemned the sign, but only because they thought it was a waste of money. One of the leaders we quoted today said, well, he is sort of Hitler-esque, but it was not a good, spending of money. And I thought, what? How can you be Hitler-esque? I mean, the thing is just the Tea Party is going to do nothing but hurt the Republican Party, and I couldn't be happier.
Dana, you're co-founder of the St. Louis Tea Party. What do you make of all of this?
I think Stephanie's comment about teabaggers, what are we, on the playground here? I mean, seriously, we're on Larry King's show. Let's keep it classy. My whole thing about this is that...
teabaggers.
No, they don't. I was actually talking about your comment, but I'm not done talking. So my whole thing with this is that the Tea Party in Iowa with the billboard, here's the difference in this situation. When the Tea Party movement sees the kooks within its own party, they get drummed out, if there are any. This billboard... Maybe it went a little bit too extreme. Maybe it went a little bit too far beyond the bounds of good taste. Stephanie, I'm not done, sweetie. Maybe it went a little bit beyond the bounds of good taste. But the thing is, the Tea Party movement went ahead and they repudiated that. When the NAACP, when Kenneth Gladney was being made fun of at an NAACP-sponsored press conference in St. Louis, and Harold Crumpton, who's on the board of the NAACP, stood by and laughed along as people at that press conference called a black conservative activist or someone affiliated with the Tea Party an Uncle Tom and a Negro, the NAACP didn't condemn that at all. So I think
okay, wait a minute.
Let's get Nancy. Nancy, what do you make of all this?
Well, where is the Tea Party's outrage when members of their own party spit on members of the United States?
That was proof false.
You know
Let's
what?
not
It wasn't
in defamation
proof
and libel.
Excuse me, I'm talking, so shut your mouth.
Well, be honest when you speak, and I won't have to interrupt you.
Excuse me, please
truthful,
be quiet.
and I won't have to.
Hey, be quiet. Where were you guys when... You know, Larry, can you just turn off our mic? This is ridiculous. All I'm saying is...
I'll run the show, Nancy. Go ahead.
I'm so sorry. The thing that is so disturbing to me about the Tea Party is that their racist attitudes and the elements of the Tea Party that are racist and violent, that show up with racist and violent imagery in their posters, that show up at rallies with guns, that show up and emotionally intimidate people, helps move the conservative, closer and closer into contaminating the mainstream, doing things like criticizing Thurgood Marshall.
You are a conservative. Does the Tea Party movement help or hurt your concept?
I think it's going to hurt us in the election because it's going to divide the vote, frankly. But I think it's going. But I admire their attitudes, and it is not even slightly about racism. And the people who carry guns at those rallies are in parts of the country where people just habitually carry guns. I mean, my wife and I live in North Idaho during the summer. When we go to restaurants, people just have guns lying around in their cars because there's a lot of hunting there.
Ben, that's just not honest. That's not honest of you.
It's completely
honest. That's not honest. If there was a black conservative...
One at a time.
They have a gun against it.
Just a minute, Nancy. It's completely honest.
Nancy's not talking.
I was there, you weren't. Nancy, I was there. You weren't, with all due respect. These are very fine, wonderful people. They happen to carry guns in their cars.
Ben, if it was a black rally, with people carrying guns, you know that the response would be different.
Nancy, I didn't even say
we're talking about rallies right now, Ben. Ben, we're talking about rallies.
Nancy,
Ben, we're talking about rallies.
Nancy, I can hear.
She said they're talking about rallies.
And I said there are certain people in parts of the there are certain parts of the country where people carry guns routinely.
At rallies, Ben?
I'm not saying...
Hold it, Stephanie. Hold it.
Ben, I'm not saying you're conservative, or a lot of conservatives I know are racist, but you can't ignore that you've seen these kind of racist signs at Tea Party rallies and this kind of rhetoric. You can't just...
I can't ignore that there are irresponsible people in every part of the political spectrum, but the idea that a person who carries a gun is a racist and plans to use that gun against African Americans...
When they have a sign next to it that's threatening...
That says, I'm going to use this gun on Obama, there's nobody who's been shown to do that. That's just made up.
Let me get a break. And guys, what we're going to do is break. The panel will return